Hey friend, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today, and you can just observe or you can come on and jump in whether or not you have a jump rope to follow along with. This is a ropeless jump rope, meaning that it's not connected, it's weighted on either end, so there's nothing for me to trip on while I'm going through my motions. But one of the things that I wanted to share with you is a part of my story that it took for me to go from where I was when I started back at the very start of May to where I am now in the middle of September. So May 3rd, I think it was my first date, and today is September 19th. What is the difference? Because when I first started, one, I could not do something like what I'm doing right now. So I just want to make that very clear. This is not a workout routine. If this is your first day, first week, even first month on the trampoline and you don't have other fitness capacity, this is definitely not where I would start. However, I have been working out practically daily, gentle bouncing on the rebounder. And I got to a point last month when I did my body scan check-in and I realized that my muscle mass had gone down and my loss of weight was attributed to losing muscle versus losing fat. So I wanted to change something in my routine. I wanted to change what I was doing. I needed another plan to figure out. And so there are two things that I came to the decision on. One, I was going to increase the intensity, meaning how I worked out on the mini trampoline. I wasn't going to get rid of it. I thought it was fabulous. I wanted to keep going, but I wanted to change what I was doing because I was at a point after 3 solid months of bouncing every day that I felt that I had the capability, both in my mindset and how I thought about myself and my skill level, to be able to do more. And I attributed that to more time and more intensity in the effort that I apply and the movements that I take. And so I started to look around and I was just kind of searching for what felt right for me. This is the same place that I started in back in late April going into early May, as when I said yes to trying the trampoline. It was because I had watched other people doing it. And I imagined as I watched these videos that I could be doing it. Have you been in this place where just seeing the evidence of somebody else doing it, somebody else showing you what is possible, there's something that lights up inside of you. There's something that gets excited. And there's a part of you that all of a sudden raises your hand and says, yes, I'm in. I want to give it a try. I believe that this could work for me. And in a really good and healthy way. I want to stress that, because there have been times when I have been completely motivated, and I'm going to put that in air quotes, motivation, by an infomercial, for example. I remember P90X being a big thing, the PiYo by Chalene Johnson, which is like yoga and Pilates put together. What were some other ones? There have been just other different video series that have come out throughout the years. And I'll see these infomercials and they are psychology and marketing masterminds behind putting these videos together. But the way that they present it, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be totally ripped in 90 days, or I'm going to have this kind of result in this amount of time. If only I would do this particular thing. And that's not what I'm talking about, because that kind of motivation is riding the wave of that psychological impact that that infomercial is giving you. And I have been there. I bought P90X and I bought exercise equipment based on different things that I see, because they know how to speak to your pain point. They know how to speak to the things that are going to trigger you, that are going to inspire you, that are going to light you up. And so you feel like the only thing that is going to solve your problem is that thing that you're going to purchase. And I come from the marketing world. So I've been in marketing and copywriting and all these things for over 20 years. And so I get that. And yet I've been sucked into those messages. Can you relate to this? What I try to present for you here on this channel is showcasing my journey as authentically as possible, and then to inspire you, to motivate you, to consider if it's possible for you. And then you get to make the decision, yes, no, or how you want to show up with it. Because there are people who are following along, and maybe this is you, and you decide to bounce along with me. You see what I am sharing, and I'm saying this entirely based on what I've said, what I have read in the comments, is you come to my channel and you're like, thank you for showing me what is possible for somebody who's carrying extra weight, or thank you for showing me what is possible on the rebounder in an easier and a gentler way. I've seen other videos that are great, but they're just too much for me, and I don't want to put myself in that situation, or I have a certain condition, or I'm just been out of shape, or I haven't worked out in years, that I'm not ready for bigger routines, or I'm not bigger for choreography, or all the different things. And I have always been very upfront that that is part of my story. That is why I started, is because I feel like I can get an amazing workout on the rebounder, bouncing on the mini trampoline, without having to follow a set choreography, rhythm, posture, like all the things. And because I struggle with keeping up with moves when other people are doing moves, despite having those years of buying different video kits. Those video kits, I would do them and I would fizzle out and I would not go back to them. However, because one, I get bored with just the same old thing, and I find different ways to try and do different things here on the rebounder, which is another reason I love it, because you can do so many different things. There's so much variety and so much different. I mean, just think about it. You can just change up your pacing. You can also change your moves. You can change the intensity in your push or your bounce, bouncing in, bouncing up, bouncing, moving all around in different ways. There's so many different ways for us to use it. And even though what you're seeing me do today is more than what you've seen me do in the past, this bounce of coming off and my movements, though, are still very restricted. They're very limited. It's very repetitive in the fact, like, I'm doing in 30-second increments. I'll just do like what I'm doing right now, back and forth jumping jacks. And then I come to a momentary pause. I allow my body to reset, and then I move into something else. I'm not moving all around, and I'm not doing a high complex routine. So for me, this works. And then I'm adding in the intensity in my bounce. I'm adding in the intensity in overall what I'm pushing myself to do. And I'm adding in the intensity with the weights that I'm carrying on these ropes. So I'm starting off with a 1/4 pound in each hand, and then I do change and I go to a 1/2 pound in each hand. And trust me, you feel that difference. You feel the difference. It is so astounding to me, because in the gym, I'm lifting more than 1/2 pound. Okay. When I'm on the machines, I'm still doing weight training now in the gym. But I'm like, okay, but what I'm doing on the rebounder, it feels so different, because I can feel that 1/2 pound or that 1/4 pound in my hands as I'm bouncing. And so it doesn't take a lot. Somebody jumped in the comments and said they're holding 2-pound weights in their hand while bouncing. And I'm like clapping over here for them, because I'm like, kudos, because I know what it feels like just at this level, that I can't imagine the 2 pounds. The other thing I would say about these weights that I really like is they're not directly in my hands. The reason I didn't choose hand weights is because I didn't want that all the weight directly in my hand. Here, I'm just holding the handle, which has a nice grip on it, so it doesn't get loose or fall out of my hand when I get sweaty. And then on the weights are actually on the ends of the rope. So as I'm turning the rope, the weights are there in the air. I don't know how else to explain that. Like, you can see that, but you've just got to feel it. It feels different than carrying hand weights. And I did a mini video, like a reel, a short, and I was holding cans in my hand. And I think I weighed those cans. Were those cans 1/2 pound or a pound a piece? They were like cans of beans. And I tried that, and I didn't like the way that felt. It's totally doable, but I like this. And so I bring it back to the whole idea of finding what is possible. And then you move from thinking it's possible to thinking it's probable. And so what the difference there in those two words is just the way that you approach something. You can 100% believe that it's possible for somebody else to be bouncing and doing a workout and be able to lose weight, get toned, strengthen their body, get healthier, all the things, because they say that they're doing it and there's scientific evidence to support it and all this stuff. And so you can believe it's possible, but you might not believe it's probable for you, meaning it can't happen for you. What I'm encouraging you to do with each and every video that I put out is I hope that you start to imagine it being probable for you, that it could happen for you in whichever way you choose to get onto the rebounder and start your own workout. What I am showing you today does look different than what I've done in the past. And I hope it's not going to be off-putting to you and you're going to leave my channel because you're like, she changed things up. I'm still going to show you gentle workout routines that you can use. However, I also want to show you my own personal progression, what steps I am taking, and if it looks like something you'd like to try, you can give it a try. I have an affiliate link to get the cross rope as you see it in my hands, and give it a try if you want to. And follow along, do it at your own pace, but take the challenge that works for you. I believe in you, and I wish you happy bouncing, friend.